Hey guys, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you guys are in the world. I hope you're doing really well today and that you're excited for the stream. Apologies, it's the first... Vogon, thank you very much for the subscription. Apologies, guys, for not streaming for the past couple of weeks. I've just been incessantly busy, so I do apologise for that. The streams are going to be coming thick and fast. I've got 4 build streams, I think, planned for the next 2 weeks, so there's going to be more and more things happening now. I've got a bit more time to myself. Let's see who got first. So Vogon PT got first. Thank you very much, Vogon. Max Surf, you were second. Sorry, dude, you were second. I apologise. Vondel, a real big boss, and Zian, good afternoon. Good evening, folks. Kajahata's here as well. Good evening, dude. Not Geo, subscribed for 37 months. 37 months. It is too many, Geo. It is. You need to just stop for a month and then maybe restart later on and just break that streak. Wondrick Man, good evening, sir. Thank you very much for joining the stream. Porcupine says hi, Jay. Hey, man. Good to see you. Banter Bunny's here as well. Trolling Cootie. VAP. Who else have we got? We've got Rabbit Sensei as well. Vogon subscribed, almost a baby, lol. No, you passed a baby, Vogon. A baby is 9 months of subs. A Top Clack baby is 9 months of subs. You're on 11 months of subs, so you do already have one Top Clack baby. You're almost 1 year old, though, in terms of being a Top Clack supporter and watcher. Zapri, thank you very much. Evening to you too. Jolt Caps is here as well. Hey Jay, I got a really nice package from Jolt Caps the other day, so thank you very much for that, dude. And Max Surfy is sad. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. Trolling Coos is no video. There should be. Maybe just refresh. You should definitely be able to see video. I can see what I'm streaming here. It definitely shows me on the stream. So maybe just double check that. I'm confused, guys. Is stream streaming? Is stream streaming? He's confused the hell out of me now. Oh well, it'll be fine. You guys can clearly see me. You guys can clearly hear me. The stream is working. It seems to be working for me. Okay, he just needed a refresh. Nice. Acidic Pure, hey man, good to see you. Zian said I had to refresh to see. Sounds like a Twitch issue or a user issue, but let's blame it on Twitch. Let's blame it on Twitch. So today, guys, we're going to be building a Canoe Gen 2. Now I know I've already done my Eva one of these. This one is slightly different. This is a Svart one, so it's a slightly different colorway, and we're going to be using some different switches as well. So. Very nice. Thank you very much, Warren, for the subscription. That is very nice of you. So we're going to be using these today, which are tangerines with UHM WPE stems, and I'll show you them in a little bit more detail soon. We're also going to let you guys pick the key set as well. That feature is back today, so you guys can pick the key set that we're going to use. If someone wants to set up a straw poll, then please feel free. But I do have 3 key sets to one side that I'll show you towards the end of the stream, and you can pick for that as well. Warrified sends the love heart. Oh, thanks, man. Thank you. Any people got their banana splits yet early? No. I ordered some, but I haven't got any yet. Not as yet. So, yeah, we'll see how they come out. There's lots of switches out there these days, though. Lots and lots of switches. It seems like every day there's a new switch that gets announced. It's kind of crazy right now. And whilst I have a ton of switches, I keep finding myself buying more and more, which is good. And also not so good. Rabbit Sensei, that is very nice. Thank you very much for that. 7 months. Yeah, you've almost got a Top Clack baby. 2 more months and you've got a Top Clack baby. Vogan says, problem exists between keyboard and chair. Yes, that's the one. Passed on the bananas, but did get in on the 8008 group buy. Nice. I didn't pick those 8008 switches, but I did pick up the banana ones. I've picked up a few in the past couple of months, so need to get them all in and try them all out and stuff like that. But we'll see how it goes. Joe from Crafted Cable says, "Yo Jay, what's up, man? Hey man, good to see you. I'm doing well. It's Sunday evening. I'm settled in for a nice, chill, relaxed stream, and I can't wait to just spend some time with you guys. Although I do have something in my eye, so I apologise for being completely unprofessional here and rubbing my eye. Something sharp digging in my eye. I apologise for that. Trolling Cootie says he wants the 8008 key set so bad. So I have that on the board here. Let me get it and show you. So I have it on this keyboard here. Let's flick over cameras and you can see it a little bit better then. So I have it on this board here, which is the ANSI in the plum colorway with a black carbon fiber plate. But there is 8008. Looks pretty good on that board. Scary Beano 1, he says, good morning, Jay. Good morning to you, sir. I hope you're doing well. Oh my god, rubbing eye, unsub. Yeah, it's very unprofessional of me, but it's really itchy. And it just started. I don't know what caused it. Man, what kind of trades you looking for? Because I have left... No, I don't need... I'm not looking for trades. I'm not looking to sell or trade anything in my collection at the moment. Maybe at some point, but not right now. How does that board feel? So the ANSI feels really good. It's kind of like a sandwich mount board. I've had it in my collection for a couple of years now, and yeah, it's a lovely board designed by Max West Foxtrot from Cable Car Designs. Great designer. Definitely go check him out. He's working a lot with mykeyboard.eu lately, who you can see just down here in the bottom corner of the stream. Good people there, so definitely go check that out. Okay, so I feel like I should show you what we're going to do today, and that is we're going to start off with these switches. These are tangerines with UHM WPE stems. If the camera focuses, there we go. Oh, is that what was in my eye? There we go. So these have been lubed with Crytux 205 grade 0. I spent doing maybe an hour in front of the TV this morning doing these. Bent pin on that one. Fixed. So yeah, so we've got all of these all lubed and ready to go. And they're going to go in this board here. So if you guys remember back to my canoe build stream a couple of weeks ago, you actually get two boxes. You get one with the canoe board in, and you also get another one with all the peripherals in, all the extras, the additions. Let's see what chat's saying. I like the shade of that colour on the board. Yeah, the plum's great on the ANSI, yeah. Did your wife find out about the pizza? What pizza? Shh. What pizza? I don't know what you're talking about, man. Is the stem alone enough, or do you need a special bottom too? For these switches, it's just the stem that's UHM WPE. So the stems are actually usually green in these. Just here. So you can see that this is what they're usually like with a green stem, and this one has had it changed to a UHM WPE stem. So that's the difference between a stock one and this modified version. Okay. Tanges with UHMWP. I didn't know what this stood for at one point. Ultra heavy molecular weight polyethylene or something like that. Polytetraethylene or something it is. Ultra high molecular weight or something like that. But anyway, it's basically like a really dense plastic, but it's really smooth. So in here we've got some C3 equals stabilizers we're going to be using for this build. These are sent by the customer. This isn't a personal build, this is a custom build. We've also got the weight in here as well, which will open towards the end of the stream. And then just under here we've got a few parts. So for the Svart colorway, the little LED light is in this nice grey colour. And of course you've got the two Acer feet in this colorway as well. As well as that, we've got gaskets, we've got the rest of the feet mechanism. We've got the F plate which goes on the front. That's also in the grey as well. We've got standoffs and we've got screws. So we've got plenty of different things. Again, all very nice and neatly packaged. And then the final thing we've got in here is the PCB and the internal foams. So let's move this out of the way. So we've got that nice piece of rubber insert with the spare gaskets and light bars as well. So that's all looking good. And then of course we have the PCB, which you can see nicely through this Canoe Gen 2. So there we go. Instructions look like IKEA instructions. Yes, they do. Yes, that's very true. But that's not necessarily a bad thing, Joel Caps. I think that's a good thing. Really dense, but whatever it means, stems. Love it. Yeah. Ultra high molecular weight. I'm pretty sure that's what it stands for. Ultra high molecular weight polytetraethylene or something like that. I can't remember the exact plastic. Okay. Again, this lovely packaging from Percent. They've really upped their game in the past couple of years. From the original canoes to this is like a huge difference. How nice is that? Look at that. And there you go, guys. This is the board. So it's basically silver and dark grey. Oh, I thought the cable was pushed underneath, but it's not. So I think the owner of this board has actually taken it out before and had a look at it. But there we go. It's this kind of like dark grey, almost black. It's not quite black, I wouldn't say, but it's almost black. It's a very nice colour. And then it's got these grey accents as well. So first thing to do is to take the board apart and get the PCB and stabilizers ready. So we'll do the stabilizers first, and then we'll take the plate out so we can start to put switches in. Ultra high molecular weight polyethylene. So yeah, so I was right then, right? That's pretty much what I said, I think. GLC 63SS is here as well, waving. How do I get the same keyboard? You need to buy it from the Canoe website or Percent website and look for the Percent Canoe. Okay, interestingly enough, these stabilizers did not come with screws. Let me see if I've got them in here anywhere. So, Mr. Customer, it would appear that you have not sent screws with your stabilizers. Let's check the box. Let's just double check, make sure they're not in the box. Okay, not in there. Okay, I'm going to have to try and find some screws for this customer. Shout out to the owner. Yeah, it's rare I actually do a custom build, to be honest, but I was asked very nicely for this one, so... Okay, let me see if I have any screws spare in my personal stash. Let's see. Okay, I do have some screws in here. They look a little bit too long. Let's have a look. Being into cubes makes you look like a drug dealer. Man, the amount of small little baggies I get through is obscene. Okay, so we have got some screws in here that are the right length. We've got some that are the wrong length and some that are the right length. So, let me just check the customer's layout. Let me see what he wants on this, and let's work out how many stops we need. So we need full backspace, full ANSI enter, full left shift, and spacebar. So we need 2, 4, 6, 8 screws. In fact, I'll also keep some of these washers out as well. There we go. Okay, that's a lot of baggies. Yes, that's a lot of baggies, man. I think I probably go through about 400 or 500 of these small little baggies every week at the minute. So, yeah, it probably does make me look a little bit like a drug dealer. But there we go. We have found our customer some screws. Okay, so next job is to take the PCB out of this packaging. I reuse all mine when I ship out bolts and things. Nice. I do like these black wires. I wish that these were more easily available. They're pretty nice. They're going to match this build quite well. How long does it take to assemble? An hour, maybe 2. Not too long. Bear in mind that I've spent maybe an hour and a half lubricating the switches earlier on today as well, so all the switches are lubed as well. So these are C3 stabilizers, which means they have already been clipped or they're manufactured as a pre-clipped part, so you don't need to clip them. So you can see that if that focuses, that these only have 2 legs on them, so they don't need any clipping, but they will need lubricating. So let's make sure we do that. First thing I'm going to do though is I'm just going to put the inserts in the housings and just get these all ready. So we need 2 housings there, that's for our backspace. We've then got 2 more for our ANSI enter. We've then got 2 more for our left shift. And then we're going to have our final 2 for our spacebar. Just like so. Okay. Now the customer's asked for a 6.25U spacebar on this one, so this is going to be almost identical to the layout that I did on mine, except it's ANSI and not ISO. So we've got a 6.25 spacebar, we've got a 2U for the backspace, a 2U for the enter, and a 2U for the left shift, which means we don't need the 7U or the spare 2U. So now what we're going to do is take some lubricant. And we're going to, first thing we're going to do is lube up our wire on one side. So we're going to get a nice amount of lube on the brush and just lube up the wire on one side. Then we're going to take our housing, insert the wire into the housing, and then clip it into the front of the housing as well. So that now all moves as one part. And we'll lube the rest of the housing in a few minutes. But we're going to basically...
Ooh, very nice.
Thank you very much, Storesness, for the subscription there. That's 6 months. He says tasty. Well, tasty's for bits. Tasty is for dropping bits. It's very nice when people sub though. Okay. Okay. Will I be picking up JTK Royal Alpha? Most likely, yeah. It's one of my favourite sets, so I'll probably pick it up in any colorway that it runs, any profile that it runs in. So yeah, what lube am I using for the stabs? This is 205 grade 2. It's a nice thick lubricant for stabilizers. Now we've put the stabilizer together, what we're going to do is we're actually going to put a little bit of lube on the sides of the sliders as well. Only a small amount, just a very, very tiny amount. We're going to put that on both sides. And then we're going to do it on the other stab as well. Again on both sides. Now we're not trying to make these bind or get stuck or anything else, so we don't want to put too much lube in there. The next thing we're going to do is take a small blob of lube and just push it into the back of the stabilizer, right where you can see the wire. We're going to do that on the other side as well. We're going to put that to one side. Okay. Prodco, I have a quick question about stabs. Ask away, man. What's my all-time favorite keyboard? Man, you could ask me that question every day for the rest of the year, and I would give you a different answer every day because I don't have an all-time favorite keyboard. I use different boards depending on my mood. So I couldn't tell you my all-time favorite keyboard because I don't think I have one. Prodco says, I got the GMMK TKL and the stabs aren't that good, but they are plate mounted, so would you say are best plate mounted stabs? To be honest, plate mounted stabs aren't great in general. Like, they're just not good. The best thing you can do with plate mounted stabs is just kind of like lubricate them well and try and make them as best as they can be. I wouldn't specifically go looking for anything else. If you do want to change the stabs, then I would probably change them for GMK ones, because there isn't much choice in plate mount stabs, so I'll probably change them for GMK ones. But I think the best thing you can do with any stabilizer is make sure it's nicely lubricated. Porcupine says, nice, how about the JTK Night Sakura when it's ready? Yeah, that looks like a nice set, man. There's so many good sets though. I can't possibly buy them all like I used to. Like, there's just too many. One time when I first joined this hobby, you know, you'd get 3 or 4 sets a year and it would be quite possible to join them all. And often I did. But now, like, there's 20 sets a month. You know, it's impossible to join them all. So I tend to just be quite picky on what I do buy and don't buy now. The last thing I bought, if it helps, was Euro. That's that one done for now. Going to move on to the next one. Do you value sound more than feel, or vice versa? I prefer a keyboard to sound good. Like, I'd weight it 60-40 in terms of sound versus feel. Like, it has to feel nice, otherwise you're not going to use it. But like, if a board sounds off to my ear, and that's really subjective. Like, some people can like the sound of a board and other people dislike it. There's no objectivity when it comes to sound. Like, if a board sounds off, I'm less likely to use it. Okay. This year has been so many good sets. Man, there's almost too many good sets. Or certainly for my budget in the hobby, there's too many good sets. I can't buy all of the sets that I want to, I'm afraid. I just can't. It's a real shame, but it's just the way it is. Did you by any chance into Cat Monochrome? I did, and not looking forward to the 1 year wait. I did. I mean, I was vendoring it for the UK on my website. So anything I vendor, I always buy a personal set of, because, you know, it'd be rude of me not to. So yes, I did buy into that. But one of every kit for me personally. Okay. Just lubing the sides of the slider rails again. And then we've only got one more stabilizer to use, or to lube now. Comfy Cats' desk mat is so cute, I had to buy it. LOL. Yeah, it's super cute, man. Like, I really, really can't wait to get those in. I think I'm going to buy a ton of extras of that because it's just really, really nice. It's just a good desk mat. So many cancelled kits this year too. Yeah, that's going to happen. The more key sets we run, the more opportunity there are for things to fail hit in MOQ. And I know things have failed to hit MOQ in the past, but like, there's just so much these days that isn't going to hit MOQ or needs to be rethought through or whatever. And it's just part and parcel of the way we're in the community right now. It's just something to accept and just understand that not everything can go to group buy, or everything that does go to group buy isn't necessarily going to get made. especially during like a pandemic. So when are GMK scaling? They actually are scaling. So this is something that's been talked about by GMK in public before. Effectively, they're doing two things at the minute. They're moving to a new campus. They're having a new campus built for the company, which is slightly separate to their existing campuses. I think they're over 2 buildings at the minute, if I remember rightly. But they're having a new kind of all singing, all dancing campus built. And as part of that, they're also having another machine. So they're increasing productivity by 25% for making GMK sets. I don't know when that additional machining is coming online. I'm not privy to that information, but I do know it's happening. So they are scaling, they are trying. I think the issue is it's just been a terrible year for any business to try scaling. The whole COVID thing, you know, manufacturers taking forever to make stuff and all having no staff and everything else. It's been a bit of a perfect storm for GMK. They've just increased in popularity right at the time when they're going to struggle to increase their productivity. But they are trying, guys. They are trying. I think the key for me at GMK is I'd rather have long wait times, but you know, a decent quality product at the end. So I think the key for me is making sure that they increase their QC back to old levels. Okay, so that's all of our stabilizers lubed. Now what we're going to do is fit them into the board, and as we fit them into the board, we are going to screw them in. Okay, so we're going to start off with the backspace. Oops. I thought that was going to hold. I did think that was going to hold. Okay. Okay, I see how it is. I see how it is, stabilizers. Oh no, these screws are not screwing in. Oh no, that's holding. That's holding. Okay, I was worried then that they weren't going to hold. I think that I'm going to recommend to the owner of this board that once the board's built and it's back in his possession, he has a search around for the screws. And if he can find them, great, he should replace them. Because these are designed for a slightly different stabilizer. So I'm not sure that the size is perfect for these. I think they'll hold just well enough, but only just well enough. Flex, good evening, good sir. Glad to see you here, dude. How much did it cost for all that lube? I don't know, I think it was like €100, something like that, maybe a little bit more. I got like 2 tubs of it, so I'll never run out. Here's a question for you. Wait. GMK doesn't want liability for infringement. Correct, yes. Here's a question. Does it matter what keyboard layout you have selected on Windows when you flash a board? What you have selected on Windows? No, you flash the board based on the firmware that you're putting onto the board. You're putting a specific firmware onto the board. So that shouldn't make a difference to whatever firmware you want to use. It shouldn't matter what language Windows is set to or anything else. It will output the same key codes that you selected in your flashing software of choice. Your outputs will be determined by what language selection you've got in Windows, though. Because the same key code that gives you A in one language might give you a completely separate output in a different language. Come on, these are so small and fiddly. There we go. Flex, there's a little bit of a wave. Nice. I thought maybe you have an idea. I'm looking for a keycap keychain, but with possibility to put your own switch of choice in it. A keycap keychain. Interesting. Maybe the Uno? Yeah. Sure. There are multiple equations that cause keyboards to sound nice, but how does one truly know if it's going to sound nice when you build it yourself? You don't, man. That's the thing. You don't. Like, a switch can sound nice in one board and terrible in another. And any board can sound nice if you spend enough time working on it, is my general belief. Like, there's no reason to ever stop working on a board just because you dislike the way it sounds. You can always get it to sound somewhat reasonable. There are some exceptions, like there's some boards that really just don't sound good in general, and they need clicky switches. Is always the answer to that. If you're struggling to get a board to sound good, put some clicky switches in it. That's my general rule of thumb. Okay, these stabilizers are definitely going to need their actual legitimate screws at some point. Okay, now if I remember rightly, there's only one position that these can go in. So we should be okay in getting these in the right place. There we go. So many things affect sound though, guys. It's not just the keyboard and the switches. Like, there's so many other things that affect sound as well. The room that you're in, you know, the what your desk is made of, how many desk mats you're using, if you have curtains up in a room or not. Like, so many things can affect sound. A really good example of this, to prove that sound can be affected by so many things, is if you've ever decorated a room and you've taken all the furniture out, how echoey the room becomes all of a sudden. You know, or you just take the curtains down, and that significantly affects how the audio ambience in that particular room is. There's so many things that can affect sound. It's a really difficult question to answer, and there's no good answer to that question. Beastwhackers in says, I'm not fond of Geek Hack, even though I should. Do you know when the JL1 Rev 1 is going to be on Group Buy again? The Group Buy only ran like a month ago, literally 4 weeks ago, yesterday. So it's not going to run again until at least after the boards are delivered, and that's expected to be June of next year. So the JL1 it's unlikely to run for a long time. Okay, so that's the stabilizers all done. The next job to do is to take apart the case and take the plate out, but I do have grease on my hands, so I'm just going to use a wet wipe to dry them off a little bit. Sensible says, what am I building? This is a Canoe Gen 2 that we're building today, dude. You can check that using the exclamation mark build command, and that will show up there. In fact, Coinstorm has just done that for you. It will run on Mech Market next year. Well, I mean, maybe some people will buy it to sell it, you know, and that's fine. I can't stop people selling it. No one has actually sold one of the original JL ones. It's only the Rev one that's gone into Group Buy, but all of the original buyers of the JL one, they haven't sold them, so yeah. Ozaru, thank you very much for the Twitch Prime subscription. That is very nice. Thank you very much, man. Really appreciate that. Just waiting for my hands to dry a little bit after wiping them down off that grease. Flippers. Feels weird, man. Yeah, I'm not really a flipper. I've never flipped anything or sold anything for more than I paid for it. I get why people do, but it just feels a little bit mean to me. Okay. I think this is the one we need. I've sold the GL one you bought to the Leeds meetup. Nice. Thanks very much, man. Thank you. I got a Zenith Ink. It's about the same, I guess. Just no first come, first serve hassle. Yeah, I'm not in a position to run unlimited group buys like Rama does. Like, that's just not something I can do yet. Maybe in the future, but not quite now. Ozaru. Oh, so Ozaru is actually the guy who owns this board. So say congratulations to him, guys. Morvin Mad, thank you very much for the very nice subscription there. Okay, I'm gonna use my little bowl here. Okay, so the next job now is to take the plate out of the case. Once the plate's out, we're then going to put the feet in and everything else, make sure it's all stuck together correctly. And then we can carry on with the build itself. I'm loving this desk pad. Thank you, man. This is from the GMK Midnight Rainbow run. This is my personal desk pad from that group buy. Happy to watch and see it being built for you. Thanks, man. Yeah, it's Ozaru. I'm hoping Ozaru is going to be incredibly happy with this when it's done. Okay, so now we've taken the plate out. We need the plate for the build, so we'll pop that there for just a minute. We do have some more work to do on the plate before we actually do the build. I think I need a smaller hex driver now. Oh, nope, slightly bigger. This one. Yeah. Okay. You buy it off him for one goldfish cracker? That's a good price, man. That's a good price. Okay, now we can take out this mid lab, pop this to one side, and then we're down to the base. So you can see here we've got the clever feet system that we need to pop in. So we're going to do that first. Okay. We'll also need the gaskets, and we need the other base feet, and we potentially need the screws as well, so keep this all together. First thing we're going to do is just install the gaskets on the feet. Super duper sticky. Gasket one installed. Okay. So what you can see here is you can see we just have like a layer of gasket to install on top of the foot just to make sure it doesn't rub anywhere. So we just installed one. We're now going to install the second. That's those nicely installed. Mustache gasket, yeah. Is Bella running tomorrow? Is that when the group buy starts? I haven't seen anything about it for a little while, so I wasn't certain. But Bella is a nice looking board. That's the KBD fans one, right? Okay, now what we're going to do here is we're just going to implement the feet. I'm going to put it on the lower setting for now. If you want to change this, dude, you can change it pretty easily. he says, struggling to get this in. There we go. Have the release pricing for the belly yet? I might try and pick it up if it's reasonably priced. Okay, those are nicely in place. I'm going to hold nice and firm. There we go. Okay. Next job now is to screw the mid piece back in place, and then we can install the rest of the gaskets. Going to match it with the comfy you got off me today. Nice, man, nice. Okay, so just 4 screws that hold this piece down. So I'm just going to put these in place. Not over tightening things, just making sure it's nice and finger tight. Again, we're not trying to destroy the board or scratch it, we're just trying to make sure it's held together. So you don't ever need to go too tight with these screws. There we go. Okay, so now they're all in place. The next thing we need to do is on the rear here, there's 2 additional prongs that we need to install, and these are in a separate bag just here. These do need their own screws. I need to remind myself which screws it is that's needed for these, so we'll take a look in a second. Okay, if I remember rightly, it's these black ones, I think. Yes, and is that size? Perfect. Okay. So now we've installed that, what we're going to do is just going to slide that into there, and we're going to slide the other one in at the side of it, he says, just like so. The first thing we're going to do is screw the left one in. Canoe 2 is rather annoying to assemble for me. At least 5 different types of screw. Yes, that is part of the challenge, is working out which screw goes where. But we're doing alright here. We're doing okay. This is my second one, so I'm maybe slightly cheaping. Okay. So that's those now in place. I do believe there is a screw that can be used to hold the feet in place, which I think is the one that takes a Torx driver, but finding the right driver might be the issue. There we go. No, the IKEA manual doesn't show you which one goes where, I'm afraid. And I'm wrong, it's not that screw at all. I don't think I didn't actually end up using screws in my feet, so I think they'll be okay. But if we need to, we can come back to that, and we can always add them later on. Okay, so now we've put the mid piece in. The next thing to do is install some of the gaskets. Mr. Rides, hey man, good to see you. Yeah, they look like a countersunk screw, but they do not. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is the ones I was just trying to put in, but for whatever reason it wasn't screwing in. Maybe I have something slightly misaligned. Let's try again. Yeah, it just doesn't seem to be screwing in. I don't want to force anything. We'll take a look later on. I'm pretty sure it's not these ones. Or is it? Is it these ones? going either. Okay, not quite sure what the issue is there, but hey, the feet are nice and tight. I don't think they need screwing in. Okay, time to install the gaskets. So we're just going to pop these into their housings. Thank you very much, Mizerides. Thank you very much. That's 2 subscriptions on a 1-month streak. Thank you very much, dude. There we go. 2 more gaskets to install on this layer, and then we need to turn the plate over for the remainder. Unless they're already installed. Are they already installed? Oh no, it's not on the plate. It's just on the space piece. That's right. Yes. Trying to recall from when I built this a couple of weeks ago. There we go, that's those all installed. We do still need to install the feet on the base, so we're going to do that now as well. And there are some spare gaskets in here too. There we go. The reds are softer, Poet. The feet coin's weird. So what they actually do is you twist them to hold in the little feet that's on the base. So that's a secondary part, and you can actually put them in 2 different places. If I show you guys, you can actually put them here for a lower angle. You can put them here for a higher angle. So if you bring them forward, it actually lifts the board more off the desk or lays it more flat. So I put them in the flatter position, but you can just twist these to unscrew them, and then you can take the foot out and move it depending on where you need to, and you can just re-tweak those. So very, very easy to do, and it's kind of like gives you an adjustable system all in one. Okay. So now that's done, the next job to do is to finish putting together the case. And we've got 2 more parts to install in the case. These go on the top case. Well, this part actually goes onto the plate, so we'll put that on in a second. But there is one more part that goes onto the top case, which is this one. And this is that kind of like front lip badge that just sits in, just like so. And this is where we need the 2 larger countersunk screws. There we go. So that's now all nicely installed. So the next thing to do is to finalize the plate. So we're just going to install the light bar here. First thing we need to do is just pop the slip of rubber in the inside. This is just to help diffuse the light a little bit better. So I'm just going to pop this in place. And then once it's in, we're just going to make sure it's firmly in place, just by giving it a press with the end of a screwdriver. That's then going to sit on top of here, and I think it takes these 2 smaller screws if I remember rightly. This is where again I'm going to need to find the right tool. There we go. And that's the light bar installed. So now what we can do is we can just put this to one side, and we can start to build up the rest of the case. So, Ozero, I know you're watching now, dude. One of the things we talked about before is you didn't actually include the screws to hold in your stabilizers. So, I have installed some screws, but these are not the correct screws for these stabilizers. So I would recommend, as soon as you get this board in, that you change these screws for the ones that you should have for your stabilizers. Hopefully you've still got some lying around. If not, I will try and get hold of some for you, but these screws are not perfect for these stabilizers, so you do need to change those. I hope that was enough of a warning. Okay. Now it's time to install the switches. They are weird and don't do a stunning job of holding the feet in a roll. That's true, yes. Over-engineered board. Maybe. I'm not sure I'd agree with that. I think it's a fine board as it is. But I agree it does have some interesting design quirks. Okay. Just going to install some switches just in random spaces around the board to try and hold it all together. This is not hot swap jolt caps, no. This will need soldering. The customer has not asked me to add in the LED for Caps Lock Poet, so as there was none in the kit, I'm going to assume that he didn't want me to actually do that step for him. If he does change his mind off stream, I can actually add one in for him at any time. I do have a selection of colours in stock of LEDs, so I can always add one in if he needs one, but it's not something that's been requested as part of the build. Okay. Okay, we should be good now to just go around and push all the switches in. He says, struggling to get one in. This is a super tight plate for switches, guys. Review for the tube. Hey man, good to see you, dude. I'm good, man. Hope you're doing well. Ozaru, if you want to DM me what colour LED you would like when you decide, I will let you know if I have it in stock. I have most colours available, so I can always just pop you one in, and we'll do it after the stream today, before I send the board back to you. Starting to make some progress now. So close to making an amazing board. I think their Gen 3 will be fine. Do you know what I really admire about Percent Studios though? They just make stuff that's different, right? They do things in a different way. Like, there's so many parts to this board that are just... why? Like, the little two nubbins here, it's like, why? And, you know, there's no great answer for that, other than the fact they wanted to. And that's nice. That's nice, you know? Just to see people make things that they want to make. Does this canoe float? Chew, if you buy one, I'll test it for you. If you buy one, Chew, you send it to me, I will try and float it down the local stream. How about that? These are the tenges from Insta. Yes, yes, so they are. Why not, like, old Italian cars? Man, yeah. I love my old cars. If you've ever watched my Insta, you'll see that I have a small collection of cars. I actually daily drive a 1989 Volkswagen Caddy pickup truck. It's a Mark 1. It's basically a Mark 1 Golf that's a pickup truck. That's my daily driver right now. I do like old cars. Not necessarily Italian ones, but I do like old cars. Caddy Dream Cam, yeah. I've got that. I've got a late 90s Peugeot 307 with a 3-litre turbo diesel, which is actually just behind me in the workshop here. That's where it stays. Then I've got the boring Kia Sportage because I just need to have a car for the family and the dog. I've also got the Datsun as well, the Datsun Fairlady Z from 1970s. Yeah, I do like cars. Cars are good. It has got a 3-litre turbo diesel in it, yeah. The Caddy's got a 2-litre AAZ engine in it. It's it's a 1.9 turbocharged engine in the Caddy, which means it goes like stink. It's really nice to drive. How are the PE stems and the tanges? I heard they are smooth, but they are wobbly and have binding issues. So they are really smooth. Now I actually did change some of these for Ozaru for my own stash of UHM stems when I was testing them out, when I had them in my Switch lubrication stand, and I was kind of like testing them all out. There's like 4 or 5 that the stems weren't great in, so I took them out and I found 4 or 5 good stems for my personal collection, put them in there for him. I was happy with all of the switches that felt relatively consistent, which is why I'm just picking them blind out of the tub. What would you think of a VR6, Kelly? Maybe. Like, I don't know. Like, if I was going to do anything different with a Caddy and an engine, like, there's not much space in their engine bays. Like, you can't put massive engines in there. You couldn't put like an RB26 in there or anything like that. But I think there could be some interesting stuff you could do. I heard PE on PE does that sometimes. I haven't noticed it on these, but they are lubed, Baron. So I have lubed them, which might alleviate some of that. But I've never actually built a board myself for personal for me with UHM stems in. So I've just never done that. I have built boards for customers, but I've never built a personal one. So I've never really typed on them for a long time to be able to comment any further on them. What are your thoughts on the UHM WP stem swap with the Tenji though? The big issue I have with the UHM stems is their sound profile. Now it actually might work in this board's favour because I wasn't massively impressed with the sound of my personal Canoe Gen 2. So it might work in their favour for this particular board. But let's see. Let's see. Probably understeers a lot. The Caddy. You can make it understeer if you aren't careful, for sure. That can be a thing. To be fair, I didn't do the engine swap. It was like that when I bought it. It's not the engine swap that I would have done. I would have probably kept the stock 1.6 litre in there and put a turbo on there if I was going to do anything. Personally. Yeah, you're never going to fit a 10-cylinder diesel in a Caddy engine bay. You would have to do some serious modifications. You'd probably have to change the firewall position. Yeah, I don't know. Doesn't sound like that's up my street. Sounds like a bit too much work for me. Okay. There's only one switch position in there, so that's the only place that switch can go. That needs to go in the center there. In fact, that doesn't actually look centered. So we're going to just pop that out, move it across. Is that centered? Yeah, that's the one. That's where it goes. Okay, and then we just need to work out where we need to put them for this particular one. I think it needs to go to the right. Let me just check the customer's layout choice here. 1.25, 1.25, so I think that's right. And then 1.25, 1.25, 1.25. So I think, if I remember rightly, well, that's going to go there. We'll test this bottom row before we solder it. I think it's going to go something like that. Okay, let's get some keycaps and test. This isn't the keycap set that's necessarily going to stay on the board. I'm just going to use this for test purposes. And of course, all of the keycaps are going to come off the board anyway, whatever we use, because this is a customer build, not a personal one. Let's just make sure we've got this bottom row in the right position now. We're just going to literally pop the caps on, make sure everything sits as it should do. And then if it doesn't, we can move the switches around a little bit. Looking good so far. There we go. So bottom row is correct. We can now take these off and we can carry on with the build. I love my old Bugatti Subi cute car. Nice. I've never had I've never driven a Subaru that wasn't good fun though, to be fair. Like, every Subaru I've ever driven has always been a ton of fun to drive. The bug-eyed ones weren't exactly the best looking version of the car though. Okay, so now guys, it's time to do some soldering. And you all know what that means. It means it is time for questions. Which means that you guys can post any question you like. Thank you very much for Risk Runner for the tier 1 sub. Thank you very much, dude. Thank you. You can post any question you like at all in chat, and if it's within my power to answer it, and it's not going to break Twitch's terms of service, I will answer it. You can ask me about life, you can ask me about cars, you can ask me about anything you would like, all while we're soldering. The sky's the limit. You ask away. All you need to do is just tag me and say @TopClack, and then ask the question, and I will try and answer to the best of my ability. Okay, just before I do this, I'm just going to check for while you guys are putting in some questions. I'm just going to check that I don't have any bent pins. I'm just going to go switch by switch, just make sure there's no bent pins in here. Okay. Do have a switch that's not in properly though. There we go. Okay, so we do have one bent pin. Ooh, very nice. Thank you very much to Space Cables for the 2-month streak. Thank you very much. And a raid as well. Alex Otos, thank you very much, Alex, for the raid. Hey man, good to see you, and good to see you guys. We are in the process of building a Canoe Gen 2 today, guys. Alex raid, look at that. Thanks, guys. Thank you. Wow. Mustache raid. Thank you, folks. I hope, Alex, you're doing well today, man. I hope you've had a good stream. We're literally just about to start soldering the PCB, which means you've actually joined right at the right time for question time. So whenever I'm soldering, what I do, guys, is you can just tag me by using @TopClack, and you can ask any question that you like, any question at all that you like. You can ask me about life, you can ask me about my car collection, you can ask me about anything at all. I'm just going to solder 2 switches here, one in each corner, and then we'll start answering some of your questions. But thank you very much for the raid, Alex. I appreciate it. Looking forward to working with you again on some of the upcoming stuff I've seen with TKC as well, so excited for that. Okay, there we go. Okay, Trolley Cootie says, how much crack does it take to keep you awake? Because it looks like you do not ever sleep. I don't take drugs to stay awake. I just stay awake naturally. I'm getting older. I don't need as much sleep as I used to. I generally average about 4 hours per night, something like that. Maybe 4.5, 5 on a weekend. Okay. Next question comes from Frozen Solid. Says, does Alex have the best mustache in the game? I haven't seen Alex for a little while. I haven't seen his streams for a couple of weeks, so I don't know if he does. Maybe it's changed since I last saw him. I don't know. Alex, send me a picture. Send me a screen. Someone send me a screenshot of his last stream. Let me take a look. Let's take a look at that. Did you say car collection? Yeah, I have a few cars. Yeah, I'd like to drive cars. I like to collect them. I like to restore classic cars. That's my other hobby, other than keyboards, is restoring classic cars. Okay. Next question comes from, what do you think about the Gazoo Boba switches? They're alright, they're not terrible. I don't dislike them. I think there's better switches on the market, but at their price point, they're pretty good. They're pretty solid switches. I don't think you can go wrong with them. I missed the group buy for the JO2. Hope for extras soon after. That's up to the vendors, man. All of the different vendors that ran that. So My Keyboard, Canon Keys, Ilum KB. That's entirely up to those guys in terms of extras. I don't even know what sort of numbers they ordered, to be honest with you. So yeah, I couldn't tell you what that's looking like. As someone who's been in the hobby for a bit, what excites you most about the keyboard hobby's exponential growth in popularity? The more people that are in the hobby, the more spending power the hobby has, the more stuff we can do. So it gives us the opportunity to try new materials, it gives us the opportunity to try new designs. The more people there are, the less that designs will fail. You will always start to find buyers for certain things. And that just increases the amount of freedom that we have as a community to design cool stuff, to make cool stuff. To just try and change it on its head and, you know, wake up the keyboard game and bring it something new, something different. 4 hours, yeah, about 4 hours. Yeah, I improve. Yeah, that's what keeps me going. Yeah, I've survived on 4 hours sleep for about 7 or 8 years now. That's kind of like my thing. It's all right. I cope. My wife doesn't necessarily mind it either, so she's fine with it, so that's all good. Can you tell us more about your car collection, please? Yeah, I'll tell you about a couple of the cars that we've got. So my daily driver at the minute is a 1989 Volkswagen Caddy pickup truck. I think it's called a Rabbit in the US, for those of you that are over in the US at the minute. But yeah, it's from 1989. It's in British Racing Green. And yeah, if you've seen it on my Insta stories, you'll have seen that someone drove into it a couple of weeks ago while it was parked up on my drive. But yeah, that's what I drive daily. I also have a 1976 Datsun 240Z, which is probably my pride and joy. I spent a long time restoring that, and actually there's a startup video of it on YouTube because it used to be here at my warehouse. My warehouse for keyboard stuff is just behind me. I did a little bit of a warehouse tour a couple of months ago, and people convinced me to start the Datsun up on stream, so that was good fun. I've also got out in the warehouse right now a 1999 Peugeot 307, which has been uprated to a 3-litre turbo diesel engine, which is going to be a track car for me and my brother when we finish building it. As well as that, we've got a couple of daily driver cars as well. And I've owned a stupid number of cars over the years. Probably somewhere in the region of about 40 cars I've owned over the years. Yeah, something like that. Let's scroll back and see if I can catch some questions. Thank you very much, James, for the subscription. 16 months, nearly 2 top pack babies. Nearly 2 top pack babies. Another 2 months and you'll be at 2 top pack babies. You have 2 very expensive hobbies. Man, yeah, I don't know which ones cost me more money over time. Probably cars, but it'll be a close run thing. I mean, I must have 200 plus keyboards in my personal collection now, so yeah, I don't know which has been the most expensive, but I imagine it's quite a close run thing these days. It seems everyone has the MX Master 3. Yeah, I use the MX Master 3 here at my workshop, and then at home I have an MX Master 2. I prefer the 3 significantly. The button placement on the side for the forward and back buttons in your browser, much better on the 3. Is that solder? It looks clean and thin. Yes, it is solder. Yeah, it's solder. It's 0.7mm solder, which is what I use for all of my soldering streams, and I have been for the past 4 years that I've been streaming keyboard builds, something like that. Okay. What kind of cars? I think I covered off most of the collection. Keys is nothing compared to cars. It depends on how many keyboards you buy. Any good black and red keycap sets? There's a couple in group buy right now, I think. GMK Red Devils, and there's another red one coming up soon as well. I can't remember what that's called, but there is another one that I saw on Geekhack a couple of days ago. Maybe it was today, actually. Might have been today. Okay. What do I do for a day job? So my day job is not the keyboard stuff, even though I have a keyboard store and everything else. That's all evening-based stuff and side of my life stuff. It's not my main job. For my main job, I actually work for a financial institution here in the UK. Nothing to do with customers or anything like that, but I actually work in project change and delivery. So I'm responsible for a number of different teams and delivery vehicles for making sure we embed change in a good manner. My official title is program manager stroke product owner, but I do a lot more than that. Project management, program management, product ownership skills in there, just general doing stuff for the bank as well. So lots of stuff going on, but that's my day job. Do you have a 1972 Chevelle SS? No, I don't. I don't have any American cars. Although my Datsun is from the US, it's not an American car. What's the best film company to use for filming Tangies and Kiwis? I like the new... I think if I had to pick any films overall, I'd probably pick TX films. But I do like the new Desk Hero... not Desk Hero ones, the squishy ones, the foam ones, wherever they're from. Desk Candy, I think it is. Caddy's so nice. I used to have a Corrado G60 and an SLC. Nice. G60's good. Yeah, nice. That's on. AKB Jim says evening as well. Hey man, glad to see you. What is this solder? This solder is Kester solder. It's sold by the pound, or 500 grams here in the UK. It's 63-37 split between leaded and tin. And it's good quality stuff. Royston cord. I've been using this reel for about 2 months, and it's about a third gone. And it's 0.7 millimeters in thickness. So there we go. Is it worth upgrading to the MX3? I have the 2. I think so, yes. Red Dragon, that's the one, yes. I am me UIU raiding with a party of 52 as well. Man, that's 2 raids in less than 20 minutes. We've had Alex Otos and I am me UIU. Thank you very much, guys, for the raids. It's so nice. Tiny Shiny Crumb is here as well. Good to see you. Hi. I forgot to send the desk key films as well. Tiny Shiny Crumb shouting, Jay! Hey, another raid. 2 raids in like 10 minutes. That's crazy. Awesome having a key store as a side hobby. Yeah, man, just got to do the right things for the community. I don't get paid for it or anything. I don't take money out of the business. It just all goes back in. I am me subscribed as well. He says, for 24 months now, 2 whole years, man. Happy birthday. Happy Top Clack birthday. He says, much love, Jay. Much love. Thanks, man. Thanks. Walker checking out the build. Do you wear a suit on your day job? No. No, the bank has become quite relaxed. I used to have to wear a suit for a long time. I've worked for the bank for 15 years now, and I had to wear a suit for maybe 12 years of that. But the last 3 years, things have become a lot more relaxed, and the more I've moved into the space of managing teams of developers, and it's all changed in terms of how we think about stuff. And one of the things that did change was the fact that we don't have to wear a suit anymore. So I used to have to wear a suit permanently. I actually still feel more comfortable in a collared shirt than I do in a t-shirt, because I just wore one for so long. It's kind of like my default mode. But yeah, not anymore. Much more relaxed now. I think it was the whole agile working methodologies. When we brought those in, that's when it kind of all relaxed. But hey, whatever makes most people happy, that's what's important in a company like that. Okay, let's see if there's any more questions. Guys, while we're soldering, if you have got any questions, just ask me and tag me with @TopClack. You can ask any question you like. It can be about anything. My personal life, it can be about cars, it can be about streaming, it can be about what I've done during the day, it can be about anything at all, as long as it's stream safe and I can answer it. That's the trick. You can get leaded Kester there. Nice. No. I have friends in the United States. I mean, you. You know this. You know this. No fan for the fumes. No, the fumes are so small, and this is in a warehouse, guys. This is a small office space in a warehouse. Like, there's a 2,200 foot square warehouse behind me. There is plenty of space for the fumes to circulate around. When are we going to see the J10? Never. Cake day, absolutely, man, absolutely. 2 years of subs, that's crazy. Another stream, another i165 on the desk. Yeah, that's my personal i165. It's one of the limited edition ones. Do you have any advice for getting switches out of plates that are stuck? Yes, make sure they're not stuck in the PCB as well, and use a switch puller. If that's not working, push it from the underside. Make sure you've taken out the 2 clips. If you still can't get it out, 2 screwdrivers and prise upwards. Make sure you pad the rest of the plate, cover it in some tape or something so you don't damage it, and then prise it out. That's the trick. What do you think of Agile? So it works, right? It works. The trick that I find is it's best to keep the developers happy, so whatever works for them. So if they prefer Agile and they prefer morning stand-ups and they want to do all of the kind of Jira stuff or whatever else software you want to use, then that's fine, that's great for them. But you need to do what your team wants to do. If they want to work slightly more waterfall methodology or slightly more lean methodology or whatever else, you have to adapt and work to the team's strengths. You can't just, plow on and do something just because it's one way of working. You have to make sure it works for everyone, the whole team. And that can be different from different teams within the corporation. So I manage multiple different work streams with multiple different teams in there. And we have different colleagues who work in different ways. The key is to be flexible and make sure that everyone's suitable and happy with their working patterns and their working shifts and everything else, specific coding patterns. Make sure we've got all of that tied down. Just got to make sure you look after your colleagues first. Okay, we do have one more switch that's got a bent pin, so I'm just going to fix that in a second. Oh, lots of questions. Let's try and get that. How often do I trim my beard? I haven't trimmed it for about 6 weeks. Notify says, how do I grow a beard like yours? Just grow it, man. Just don't touch it. Just leave it. What's the next leak? Spill. Next leak. I have an Argyle prototype just out the back. I might show you later on. Do you like the Canoe Gen 2? Yes, I do. Yes. I've got a personal one. This is a customer one, but I do have a personal one as well. You know me too. Hit me up when you need some more. Thanks, I'm me. I definitely will do. Fumes give me power. Absolutely, man. Static Age says, is the brass rail on the JO1 for pens or for pre-smoked joints? Hey man, I'm not going to judge. You can use it for whatever you'd like. There is no judgment here, man. Whatever you think is the best use for a pen rail, you use it for that. Okay, just fixing the bent pin here. There we go. And solder the last switch. What's a question with the answer 42? What's the meaning of life, the universe, and everything? I asked for the films about Tangiers and Kiwis. Forgot to ask if you use 1.25 or 1.5. Oh, sorry, 0.125 or 0.15 for TX films. 0.15 are the only ones I've used. I haven't used 0.125. Tiny Shiny Crumb's got to go. Have a fantastic stream. Thank you very much, Tiny Shiny Crumb. Take care, and I'll see you again soon. Have you used the OA original aspiration switch protos? No, I haven't. I haven't had any of those in. I think Brian might be getting some in, but I haven't had any. Imiso says, I've always had great cars and mostly never settled for something boring for a commute. I just got a 2020 Honda Accord Hybrid, and I have to say, while I thought that might be the case when I bought it, it's pretty cool in its own ways. Thoughts? Hybrid and electric is the future. I think ICE engines will always have a place, certainly in my heart and a lot of other collectors' hearts. But I think for a daily driver, those cars are the future. I'm actually looking at buying a Tesla as a daily driver at the minute to replace the Kia, because the Kia is now 2 years old. When it gets 3 years old, when it gets to 4 years old, I want to get rid of that and replace it with a Tesla, because I think that electric cars are better for the environment, and they're just going to be overall a better environment for us to live in. Get rid of all that pollution. That's the trick. So thumbs up for getting a hybrid. I appreciate that, man. Personally, I feel a lot of people get carried away with the agile ceremonies without actually being beneficial for the team. That being said, agile done correct is the best way to develop software IMO. Yeah, as I say, you've got to work to your team's strengths. If the team doesn't want daily stand-ups, don't do them. Do them every 3 days or every other day or whatever. If they want to do their stand-ups as kind of like a download at the end of the day, do it that way. If they want to do 3 Amigo sessions or whatever else instead of doing, instead of doing other ceremonies, then do that. Do what fits them best. That's what you have to do. You have to work around your team, not necessarily work to a specific methodology. That's my take on it anyway. Did I see the plus bias? No, I haven't. If you've got a link, Bounty Chillups, drop me a link and I'll take a look at it. Visionaire says, is that to mean that you guys don't have an enterprise level standard for working agile versus waterfall? We do. We work agile. That's our enterprise level methodology. But there are ways and means of working around that to make it suit the team better. So just because we're technically agile doesn't mean to say that we have to be agile for every single thing that we do. We can make it work better for different people. Like, no one's going to come around and bollock me for having 5 teams that run stand-ups and 5 teams that don't, because as long as the work's getting done, that's the main thing. Is there a reason people solder switches instead of using mil-max sockets? Solder just feels nicer when you're typing, I think. Like, I don't like mil-max sockets and other things like that. I don't like hot swap boards personally. So, yeah. Okay. Last couple of questions in. What's your advice methods for getting out of a cold? I'm in misery. Huey. Okay, this is what you do, Huey. You get a bottle of whiskey and you go to the stove. You open the bottle of the whiskey. You pour yourself a glass. You get some hot water and you put it on the stove, about a pint. You get some lemon juice, you squeeze some lemon in there. You get some cinnamon sticks and you put a cinnamon stick in there. You get star anise, you drop a star anise in there. You have another shot of the whiskey. Once that's all been nicely bubbling away for a couple of minutes, what you do is you pour it into a strainer. You strain it all off, make sure there's no bits and pulp or anything else in there for the lemon, whatever else. And then you tip into that 2 fingers of whiskey. So you want your glass about so full, 2 fingers of whiskey. So you have about a ratio of about 4:1 in terms of the hot toddy mixture to whiskey. And then you stir it with the cinnamon stick. And I guarantee that after you've had 5 of those, you'll forget about your cold. Guaranteed. 5 of those, you'll forget about your cold. Okay, I think we got through the file. Oh, there it is, the bias. Okay, let me take a look. Oh, I have seen this. Yes, I have seen this. Yes, it does look nice, but it's a TKL, and we've seen so many TKLs. Yeah. I'd like to take a look at one. I'd like to build one. I'd probably buy one, but hey, who knows? It looks nice though with that logo on there, but the infill looks really good. I like that. I'm a big fan of infill. Yeah, it looks good. I didn't say get drunk, Huey. That's not what I said. Gatorun says, I'm learning how to use Agile and Prince 2. So Prince 2, wow. That's a blast from the past. Sometimes I combine them both. Not sure if that's a good idea in a real work environment. Follow whatever your industry or your company's kind of standard is. But if you need to tweak things around the edges to make it work for you, definitely do that. Definitely do that. Is that the real Gator run? Who knows, man? Who knows? Okay, so now we've soldered all of the board together. It's all going to look nice and tidy. We're going to put it into the case. And then we're going to screw it down. So there we go. That's in place now. And it's time to screw this in place. And remember, we're not screwing this in tightly. We don't want to compress the gaskets too much. Oh, that's a Phillips screw. I do wish all of these screws took the same size tool. We just want to make sure that we've got a tiny bit of resistance. So as soon as, with no weight on it, as soon as a screwdriver is skipping over the top of the screw, that's when you know it's tight enough. because you don't want to compress the gasket too much on this particular build. What's the longest you've had to wait for a keycap group buy? Probably a couple of years for SA Commando. I think that was 2 years. Yeah, I think 2 years. That's probably the longest. For keyboards, in fact, actually, no, I tell a lie. Actually, for keycaps, I'm still waiting for my F8 key for. Oh gosh, what's the keycap set called? Hyperfuse. For the original run of Hyperfuse, I'm still waiting for my F8 key for Hyperfuse, GMK Hyperfuse. Cat sets, the longest I've been waiting is about a year, I think. Drifter is the longest one I've got waiting on my radar at the minute. Okay. Screw with confidence. Absolutely. Have you been talking to my wife again? Where do we put screws first? We put them here. And again, for the case screws, we're just screwing it until we feel some resistance. And as soon as we feel that resistance, we're going to stop. Don't want to over tighten this. Equally shortest group buy. Oof, gosh. I couldn't tell you what the shortest group buy was. Probably the Petrichor, which I built a couple of weeks ago. That was like super quick. I think I know the shop that makes the case for that. You could probably just get one made yourself from $180 for them. What's that? What case is that for, Zoomwall? Oh, the Mojo 60. Oh, right, okay. Well, you shouldn't be stealing people's copyrighted stuff, so I'd say no to that. I had GMK Ski Data in 3 months, if that adds something. Nice. The original run of Ski Data was really quick, actually, yeah. Some of the original GMK runs were super fast. Okay, just checking that this is all screwed together nicely and neatly, and that we're not compressing things too much, and that everything looks even. Just need to ease off on this top screw a little bit. Just try and make the gap even. There we go. It's looking good. Okay, last thing to do here is to put in the weight on the base. And then we can put some keycaps on. And you guys get to decide what keycaps we use as well. We've got 3 sets, and you guys are going to pick which of those 3 sets we're going to use. Dolce or Riot? How do you even know Dolce's in the list? Okay. Okay. Did I keep the screwdriver I need for this? Nope. Is that going to fit? Nope. Find the right one here in a second. I will find the right one, guys. I will. How many of these could it possibly be? Okay, okay. So it's probably, there we go. Sky Dolch. Well, I've got 3 key sets to one side, and you guys can pick from those 3. I do have Sky Dolch, but I'm not going to go get it. Okay. Shiny. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Let's get rid of all of the rubbish, the bits that we don't need. We can put all the screwdrivers away now. The first job is to test the PCB and make sure it's working. So let's plug it in and get the switch header up, and you guys can see what's happening. Well, the LEDs work. It's good to know. So let's see if I can share with you switch hitter. Okay, let's test each of these keys out. Well, nothing's working just yet. Let's make sure that's working. There we go. Okay, so top row looking good. Okay, all looking good there. Caps lock's working. Okay, all looking good here. That should be FN. So I think, yeah, so FN's working. Okay, so keyboard's working. Time to put some keycaps on it. Okay, guys. So you guys can choose what keycaps that we use here. Let me remove switch hitter from view. There we go. We have a choice of GMK Delta, GMK Modern Dolch, or outside chance GMK Calm Depths. Votes in chat, guys. Let me know which you'd like to see. Do you want to see Calm Depths on this board? Do you want to see Modern Dolch, or do you want to see Delta on this? What would you like to see? Votes in chat, please. Now we'll give it a couple of minutes, and we'll see what gets most votes, and we'll go for that one. I wonder how the Phantom Kipura looks on the board. Do you want to see the Phantom Kipura? Okay, here's the Phantom Kipura. There you go. How nice is that? It's one of my favorite ones. I have a few Kipuras. Let's see if there's any other you guys like. I have more Kipuras if anyone wants to take a look. Okay, I do have some other ones as well, but they're on boards already. Yeah, I've got about 70, 75, something like that, Kipuras. Yeah, I do really like them. Okay, let's have a look through and see what people have been voting for. So, 1 for Delta, 2 for Delta 3, 4 for Delta, 1 for Modern Dolch, 1 for Calm Depths, 2 for Modern Dolch now. Okay, Calm Depths, Calm Depths, Calm Depths, Calm Depths. Calm Depths seems to be taking the lead here. Delta, Calm Depths, Delta, Calm Depths, Delta, Delta, Calm Depths. Wow, Delta, Calm Depths, Depths, Modern Dolch. Okay, so Modern Dolch is definitely out of the running. I think that Calm Depths won that, so we're going to go with GMK Calm Depths. I'm going to put the other two key sets out of the way. Grail Kipura right there. Yeah, I have a few good Kipuras. Depends on what you like, but I have a few nice ones. Calm Depths has great alphas. It does, man. It does. You are right. This is an underutilized set. Like, not enough people use this. I don't like the mods, but the alphas are nice. Calm Depths stock's going up. Honestly, this is an underutilized set. It's one of my favorite sets, and it's underutilized. Does anyone know if Dixie Maker was selling Moto 2 extras when they arrive? Yeah, he will do. He will have extras, I'm sure. Nearly all vendors buy extras. Old school GMK case. Yeah, man. I'm not so much a fan of the new ones. They just break too easily. They just get damaged in shipping as well. In fact, I'll go with that. We'll do the side mods in a second. Let's finish laying off the most of the keys. This particular set of Calm Depths has never actually been on a keyboard before as well. This is brand new on a keyboard for the first time. GMK should let JTK make their trays. Yeah, man, that's not a bad shout. I got some JTK Max trays in the other day. They're really good. Okay. New GMK trays are bad. Yes, Foregone. Do I throw away my empty trays? No, I keep all my key sets in them. I don't know how many I've got, but I've got a fair few GMK sets, and I keep all my key sets back in their original trays, or I put them in a bag if the trays get too damaged, but I don't throw them away on purpose. Whoops. Favorite set in group buy right now? Has Euro finished now? I think that was my favorite that was in group buy recently. I really, really like that set. Monokai Material was nice as well, but I didn't buy that one. Pipe is an alpha and should remain an alpha. SMH. Just because it is safe for consumption doesn't mean to say you should be eating it. It's not a personal build though. That's the thing, dude. If it was Porcupine, if this was a personal build, I guarantee you it would not be ANSI Enter. This is a customer build, and therefore this is built to the customer's specification. Lots of people hurt Huey. Lots of people. Okay. Almost there now, guys. Okay, let's find some keycaps for this side row now. There we go. Have you tried any spacebar foams? Yeah, I'm not a fan of putting foams in keyboard cases unless I can help it. Like, sometimes it's absolutely necessary and you have to do it, but I always feel like that's a last resort for me. Like, I don't know, I just don't like to put foams in cases. This board actually does have a piece of foam that comes with it, so the owner can actually put this in there if they want to. Bless me. Okay, so there we go, guys. This is the board. Let's tidy up the desk a little bit. Let's get some space going. Okay. Just going to tidy it up just a little bit, guys. Just a little bit. Get rid of what we don't need. There we go. Okay, guys, so this is the Canoe Gen 2 with GMK Calm Depths. How nice does that look? Side profile. I'll give it a wipe down with some isopropyl alcohol after the stream. And then the base, you can see the camera set up above. You see my chin reflection? There you go. It is a good looking case. I hope Gen 2 has a normal PCB that doesn't die in 3 months. Hey man, my original Canoe is still running and it's like nearly 3 years old now. The bottom's adjustable height, yeah, so you can move these feet and you can have them lower towards this end of the case, and it raises the case if you put them in the second slot here, which is just slightly closer. You see it's got 2 settings. There you go. Had to sell my Gen 1 Canoe PC because of the PCB. Man, that sucks. I apologise for that. Not that I was anything to do with the Canoe, but yeah, I'm sorry, man. Wait, it's so shiny. Yeah, it's PVD. It's already got fingerprints on. I need to give this all a wipe down with some isopropyl alcohol. Make sure it's all nice and neat and tidy. But there we go. So, Ozaru, it's looking so gorgeous. Well, this is your board, man. I hope you like it. I hope you like it. As I say, all the fingerprints will be gone when the board gets to you. You're not getting the keycap set, though. I'm not going to ship you this with the keycap set. You do realise that, though, man. But I would like to hear what keycap set you're going to put on here. I'd be interested to hear what keycap set you're going to pop on. And if you do want an LED popping in here, then just let me know as well in DMs, and I will pop that in for you before I ship the board. So there we go. Looking good. Looking really good. Should we see what it looks like with the lights? Okay. I'm not a fan of the whole kind of in-switch lights, and it's really hard to show you guys this, but this is kind of like a rainbow light here. Let me see if I can zoom in. If you guys can see this. So this is like a rainbow light. This is really cool. If I try and... can you see it changing? Maybe? It's difficult to show you. Because it is so bright and it's just on the camera. Maybe if I turn off the stream lights it'll be... Let me just turn off these lights. If I hide that... Maybe? Maybe? I don't know. Okay, but I don't like the in switch personally, but that can be turned off. But I do like this. This is really nice. He's aware I'm not sending him the. Oh gosh, are they? Yes, you're right there. Good spot, Zapri. Good spot. They must have just been in the case like that. I don't have a switch puller here to hand. Sorry, a keycap puller here to hand. That will have to be changed after the stream. Why don't I have one to hand? I always have one here. Okay, I don't have one. Sorry, Zapri. It will have to stay that for like now, but yes, you are right. They do need switching around. But good spot. Ooh, camera focus. Thank you. That Canoe would look good with dual shot. Do you know that was one of the other options that I was really tempted to bring out for today, and I decided not to in the end, just because I haven't used it on a personal board yet. But yeah, dual shot would look good on this board. The rainbow light is really nice. It's just really subtle. It's pastel colours as well. It's just really nice little light. Going to use GMK Future Funk on them, but they're coming November, December, even later. Yeah, it's a little bit out there. Maybe set it to one colour. It's the customer's board, man. It's up to him how he has it. I can't actually remember what the control is for the LEDs. I'm sure it's an FN key. Oops, I'm clicking about 1,000 things. Is that? Okay, I'm deleting stuff in this now, so in my app now. I could have sworn that it was on here, but I can't find it now. Anyway, it is on there. It's programmable, so you can change it. The light bar is nice. Yeah, the light bar is great. Yeah, and I agree. Future Funk is going to be a really good key set. I'm definitely going to be looking out for extras of Future Funk personally, because it's going to look really good. I'm going to be really, really interested to see that. Okay, guys. Well, that is the build done. As I say, this is a customer board, so I'm going to leave the sound test as a surprise to the customer. I'm going to let him see how it sounds and make sure he's comfortable with it when he receives the board, rather than spoil it now. But other than that, that's the stream, guys. The next thing we need to do is find someone to raid. So, who is around that we can raid today? Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Who is online that we can raid? Only person live is Existentially Yours. Okay, we can do that. We can raid Existentially Yours. Hold on, hold on. Hold on, my controls have gone. Okay, so we're gonna go and raid. I'm gonna leave that for you, Ozaru, for a type test because it's your board. I like to save that for you. I don't want to spoil that for you on stream because it's going to be very, very discerning if it sounds different to you in real life because my setup's very different to yours. So we'll leave it for you there. But I'll give you a little clack. All right. Let's give you a really quick little clack. Let's pause music. Let's bring the microphone down. Okay, there we go. There we go, guys. That's the limit of the sound typing test today. But we are going to go and raid Existentially Yours now. So what I want you guys to do is tell him that we wish him a great day. Tell him that Top Clack sent you and wish him the best day he could possibly have. That's what I want you guys to do. Is that all right? Can you guys do that? Can you wish him a really, really good day and make sure he's having his best time? Okay, let's start the raid in just 1 second, then, guys. Okay, I'm going to run our outro here. I'll see you guys later. I'll be back on stream in a couple of days' time with an Alps build. But I'm going to run our outro, and then we're just going to go raid him straight away. Okay? See you later, guys. Thank you. Founders Edition, first come, first serve. Any more pictures avail? Cryon King, thank you very much. Wait, Top Clack, hello. How are you? We were very briefly looking. Oh my gosh. We were very briefly looking at the mode 80, but we are actually in the middle. Oh my goodness, thank you so much for the raid. That is so kind of you, Top Clack. We were in the middle of building an E8.5, and it is in fact an E8.5 with pink and purple. We went pink and purple for this one. Oh my goodness, thank you so much for all of the follows. Crayon King, Keith of Police, Moozerides, Thomas, Morvin Mad, and Bitter Seeds. Thank you. Okay, so we're finishing up the soldering process, and then we will be all together. Oh, thank you again. Thank you. Does anyone from the Top Clack stream want to get in on the mode 80? Also, what were you guys up to today on the Top Clack stream? Jay, were you building a personal keyboard? Canoe Gen 2, very nice. Really, not a personal one for a change. Okay, this is a personal one for me. I would say about 80% of the keyboards that I build on this stream are for me, and the other 20% are for customers. But I tend to buy a lot of things just to see what they're like and just to have experience with them in hand, which then leads to just everybody comes in and they say, "Oh, who are you building this for?" Well, no, I couldn't help myself. It's for me again. Also, I'm really excited for the JO1 that I was able to get in on. I'm very excited. I got the 10 key version. Why are you covering that lovely hair? Alright. Just for you.
The hair is from the charity stream, and it's stuck around because I enjoy it too much, and I enjoy not taking myself seriously. Um, so that is a fun thing. And the other nice benefit of kind of keeping the charity hair for a while is that I get more mileage out of it. Like I get to talk to people about the charity event that we did and say, yeah, my hair is pink, but it's because we were supporting the Equal Justice Initiative. And then I get to talk about their um, their mission to end mass incarceration uh, and systemic racism in whatever forms it may take. Um, their work with death row inmates, because there's a surprising amount of death row inmates that are actually innocent